#1 recording studio.
All right, welcome to the Swerv Show. It is December 11th.
How you doing?
All right.
What day is it?
December 11th.
December.
My mic is moving up and down, and it's
the
a few
11th.
days before Christmas. I tell you, it's coming soon. We had our
Oh,
Christmas
yes.
party today, and
Oh,
I was
yes.
like, what?
We are having several this week.
Yes.
So I am Jamil Fletcher, the publisher of Swerv Magazine. To my right, I have Yarde Noir,
I'm
our
back.
editor at large. To my
Welcome
left,
back.
Tony Nelson.
Hi.
Cranberry and Black. I got Cranberry and Black. I might do that.
I like it.
Racine Pendarvis here in the corner.
Salutation.
All right, y'all. Well, let's get started. We have our November-December issue, which is out on the streets now. Do you have that, PJ? Kabam. Right, featuring Alfonso David. And I posted that today on Twitter.
Finally.
And Facebook. I know it took a minute. And it got a good response, so I'll push it out some more. So I'm curious to see what the HRC people feel, how they feel about it. Anyway,
I think it's going to be great.
I think so too. I did get a response from the city councilman in Atlanta who we spotlighted. He was thrilled, so I'm hoping to meet him when I go down there. Anyway, so of course we have advertising opportunities both in the magazine and on the show. Check us out. Just contact myself, Jamil, at swervemagazine.com. All right? All right, well, let's go to news, y'all. We got a lot going on. It's going on in real time.
Yes,
the articles of impeachment have been introduced.
Good.
I think, do I have an image for that? She's been reading, baby. Nancy
Mud,
Pelosi
blood,
is,
and points.
she is having a day.
Baby, that
She
good
has.
Baltimore is coming up out of her.
She is having a day, I tell you.
But do you
so.
all think that maybe the Democrats are now losing in the messaging war with this?
A little. It depends, because I think the evidence has not been as
Strong.
strong as you would have thought it would have been. I mean, we need to hear the tapes. And I don't know if the American public is paying attention, to be honest with you.
They not. Somebody. I think I was watching MSNBC or CNN, one of those, and one of the commentators said that the truth is that anybody outside, the truth is, especially in D.C., anybody outside of the Beltway really ain't paying none. Just don't mind.
Yeah, I mean,
us
it's
who
not.
live here and we live in it, we see it every day, or those who work
Well, I
in
wouldn't
media.
say not paying any of
look
it
at every day, but
mind.
the average person, the average Joe Blow,
You're not
the
home
Midwestern,
watching it,
is
but
not
I mean, we got the debates going on. I think they're attuned to it, especially if he does get impeached. And now we face the crisis
Yeah,
of
but you
whether
know
they're
what?
going to remove him.
If I may, my take on that whole thing is people who are trying to stay above ground, people who are just trying to make a living and want to survive in this madness we call the world.
Amen.
They are really so upset and frustrated that the impeachment is the last thing on their mind. They're trying to keep their lights on. They're trying to feed their children. They're trying to go to school. They're trying to work. And the impeachment, I listen to a lot of folks who are struggling. The impeachment is not what's on their mind. They was like, we need to just survive.
well,
maybe-
cut those chip benefits.
Yeah,
Baby.
maybe
Food stamps.
they need to pay more closer attention to the impeachment and the voting, and they might have a better chance of surviving.
The
And
rural
yeah, and
hospitals are
that's-
closing like
Because
And and I think that's the key to folks wanting. I think when things are snatched, then it's folks really wake up.
Well, I mean,
But folks need to be in the trenches.
people need to be engaged.
Well,
now.
they had this major layoff with the mining companies. There were a few large mining companies that shut down. Boom, done.
but
When he said coal was coming back,
It's
he's
done.
surprised them.
It closed last week. It's done.
I mean, we also the writing on the wall when he first said all of this stuff because it was like he's telling you what you want in the Midwest to get your vote.
Well, you have to listen to him very carefully also because he's telling you, oh, I'm going to tell you all what I'm going to do about health care after I get elected again. The point of the matter is, but you're working now.
You didn't-
And you ain't did
What
nothing.
about
You're
what
working
doing
now, so what are you
Right.
doing now?
You
Go do
had
it.
the House and the
Nothing.
Senate for
Nothing.
a couple years anyway. So,
Nothing.
so y'all, they're talking about it right now. It's live in Congress. So
So I don't know. I'm having some problem with the watch party. I apologize to
okay.
everybody.
That's all right. But to everybody on Facebook,
We're gonna keep
like
it
and
moving.
share, Beth,
Well, let's
TR
keep it moving.
Media.
But
JJ, we love you.
you gotta people. We have to be more engaged with the political
And
process, and we have to get out and vote. Even though they did say that 51% of Americans do not favor impeachment at this point, but they are saying that
big a poll was
every
that?
Democratic possible candidate at this point will still beat him.
Well, I mean,
Which is
these
That's wonderful.
These polls are so misleading. You never know the sample size. I haven't been.
They never
polled.
give you,
Have
they never
you
give
been
you
polled?
but they never give you the details.
You nobody's
Have
asked
you
me a
been
thing.
polled?
But that's
Is it just Iowa?
But that's really interesting because no sitting president with a good economy has been voted out, and the economy.
And the
is
question is the economy good for everyone? I
It's not.
Stocks and stuff are up, but
It's not
wealth
good for-
inequality is
It's
at a
not
rise,
good for
it's at a
everyone, but
rise.
people again.
The rich are staying rich and the poor are staying
But
poor.
Racine, you just said it. You just said it. People, if what you're saying is true, people are not paying attention to
They're
that.
not. They're not.
And
They're
this
too
is the
busy-
reason.
they're too busy
And this is the
hustling.
reason why people need to stay engaged
and vote. Well, let's keep it moving, y'all. The
The
other thing
beloved,
that-
multi-talented Roz White is just joined.
Hi, Roz.
I saw Roz at Patti LaBelle.
Roz,
I was
when's
at
the-
the Patti LaBelle concert too.
Roz,
Hey,
when's the
Roz.
album coming out? Did the album come out?
She's working on her jazz album. A diva takes her time.
Okay. Well, when it comes out, we wanna do a feature.
You know,
and-
Roz is over at Howard now.
I hear.
Yes, Roz.
Roz is fierce. Anyway,
Doing
we
it
love
out.
Roz. Okay, keep it moving, y'all. So the funny thing about this week, with all this talk about Russia and Ukraine, this president brings in the Russian foreign minister for a one-on-one, which is essentially bringing in the Secretary of State. They've been talking about this. They said this is such an embarrassment because it's not even peer-to-peer. It's not president to president. And where is our Secretary of State to participate in this meeting? He had this fool up in the White House this week
The
when they were
shade
voting
of it all.
when they were.
Child, I'm telling you, he
debating
does
it.
gangster tactics. And he just be like, child, I'm doing whatever you
He
in
don't
everyone's
care.
face.
I mean, the nerve in this fool. But anyway, all right, y'all. So a couple other things happened. Saucy Santana, who I'm not familiar with.
He came to the. He was at First Fridays. Was it last month?
He's
Did
a
he perform?
rapper and a
Yeah,
media person.
He performed. His big hit is "Walk 'em like a dog." Walk 'em
that's
like
him.
a dog.
I
Yeah.
saw that
remember
when the
that
white
sound.
woman's walking the brother on a like a dog on the streets with the collar. I did see that.
I don't know about the video. I know the song.
Oh yeah, the video was something.
Yeah. But that's Saucy Santana. He was at. He was at First Friday.
So he's been injured in a
He was in a
drive-by?
shootout last night. Him and two other of his friends. The car was ran off the road, and they shot a total, I do believe, of like 25
Hey, Bam.
bullets into the car, and all of them were shot. He was shot in the arm. The other guys, everyone had to be taken to the hospital, and they had
Oh, so
video
he's not-
footage.
No one
was
deceased,
killed.
right? Right, okay.
And they have video footage. It was really sad and horrific. He was in such a state of disarray when the police arrived in the ambulance, and
Are they thinking it's a hate crime?
and they think it might be a hate crime.
Okay, well,
He was at a bar at a strip club, and his take is he thinks that he was taking the attention of the dancers from a group of guys that were not very happy about
And they
what
shot him?
happened, and they shot him. Hey, nephew Nate.
that's a mess. Well, we'll
They-
keep,
it's
They
sad.
shot
keep
at
our
them.
eyes
Well,
open.
but that's allegedly. That's what he thinks happened.
Right,
We
right.
don't know if that's
Allegedly.
the case.
But we'll
Allegedly.
keep our eyes open on that story. Hopefully everyone.
And we lift you up in prayers to you and
is
all
gonna
of your
be
friends
well, yeah.
that you will heal.
Lord.
Yes, Gemini, I am current. Thank you so much.
You better be current.
Of course, you watch the news and read the paper. Right?
Sometimes.
So the other thing that happened, y'all, they approved the Voters' Rights Advancement
I am
Act. That
so
passed.
excited about that.
And so this is just the process by which the Voting Act is going to be restored.
Is that? But
It's an end around the Supreme Court.
Okay. Isn't that just like the state of Maryland?
No, that's national. It
It's
was
national?
introduced by
Okay.
Representative Terry Sewell from
thought they were doing it
Alabama,
state by state.
and that passed. It passed. So it's just a matter of time. So hopefully we'll get full voting rights, and this will prevent jurisdictions from changing the rules. Certain jurisdictions would have to get approval from a government agency, the feds, before they started
Exactly.
enacting these poll taxes and stuff, and they just zapped at, and all of a sudden, the people were changing times and changing precincts and stuff, and doing all kinds of things,
Playing
stunts.
games and moving up
Oh,
the
so
time.
to suppress the vote of
They
black
were.
and brown people.
And not shipping off enough of voting machines.
Exactly.
And or voting machines that were broken.
Closing the polls early.
Early, yeah.
Right. Ending
All of that.
early
And
voting.
that's why early voting, to everyone that is a registered, early voting is so important. Do not wait the day of if you have to work.
Hey, Derek.
Early voting is so important. And
Can
if
you
you are
expl-
traveling, early voting is so important.
Can you?
Or absentee voting, right.
Why is early vote? I just want to hear.
Because it helps project who's in the front row. It's a really great thing because it allows folks to go in, because a lot of times when you early vote, you can go in and you can vote within 20 minutes. Boom, you in and out.
What it does is it
opposed to
gives
2 and 3
people
hours.
more options than this one day. It gives you the flexibility to vote at your discretion, so it can fit your schedules. That's the
Got
beauty
it.
of it.
Got it.
Call
Got
me
it.
old school.
That's the beauty of it. I
Call-
mean, why do we just
call-
vote on
call
a
me-
Tuesday anyway?
And look,
This odd Tuesday.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I got
I
it.
think early voting is fine. Call me old school. I just like, me and my mother made it a tradition on voting day. Is me and my mama, we get together, get up early in the morning, go get coffee, the whole shit.
But why
we
one
do
day?
that.
Shouldn't it be like
Right.
2 weeks?
I
mean,
just
give me a
look.
break.
I feel like
Give me a
I don't want to
break.
send mine in early because I don't want y'all to say y'all lost it. I was there on the day of. I did my vote. I put it in.
Well,
I saw it.
they usually vote. They usually count those
That
posts
shit.
anyway.
Yeah, they do. The early voting is all counted, baby. Trust me.
I'm just saying. They losing ballots and things.
No,
That's why.
I trust
Or in North Carolina, the
Okay.
people would come by and tell you where to vote. I mean, they would say, "Oh, here we voted
right
for
here.
you." Right.
Or they'll shift it.
And thank you. Or just give us the ballot. We'll cast. the
Or
vote
they're
for
trying
you
to
and
tell
take it
people,
in.
or they're saying people are dead.
Anyway,
You go
y'all.
and they say, "Oh, you're dead."
Oh, she's dead.
So we'll get to more importance of voting.
Stock
So
shows in the productions.
the other thing that happened is permanent HBCU funding was approved at $255 million,
Cool.
which is still a low number, to be honest with you.
I was gonna say it's a lot of
How they
money.
gonna divvy it
I'll tell
out?
you, well, I mean,
How they gonna divvy it out?
Well, I don't know. It's
And what's
divvied
stri-
up through many ways. But the funny part about that is Howard is a line item in the budget at about 240 or 260 million every year.
Alone?
Oh yeah. Us, it's only 2 schools. It's Howard and Gallaudet. We're a line item in the federal budget.
Oh, because we're in D.C.
No, that was just the deal with the creation of Howard. It's the only school that was done like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
The way it was created.
And the
yeah.
funny story about that is Obama cut the budget one year by $40 million, and Paul Ryan added it back because Congress pays the bill. No one talks about that.
All right.
Bam.
So
Get
we
you
were gonna-
some.
Pow and get you
I had
some.
a problem with that, but that's a long story. Anyway, but our blessed Michelle Obama wants us to do what?
Vote.
That's
Vote.
right. And so when we all vote, do we have that trailer?
Come on, bring us the video.
Kick it, y'all.
Last year, we went big. Millions of new voters made their voices heard for the first time. Now the stakes are even higher. That's why I've been reaching out to some friends to expand my voting squad for the year ahead.
It all starts with you. You're the only person
that could have that conversation
with your family and your friends.
and your girlfriends.
And even with your community.
to get them registered and ready to vote.
Or just send them a text or slide into their DMs and say, yo, you up? Good, because you need a squad up.
We need you.
to draft your own championship voting squad.
It's up to you to change the game.
Because when we squad up,
When we make our voices heard,
when we all vote,
When we
all vote,
we can change the world.
head to whenweallvote.org.
to get started. Let's get to work.
Join us.
All right, y'all. So look, we need to vote, and I mean vote for real. For real.
Yes.
If you're not registered, go get registered.
And
Plan to vote.
And in some states, those with criminal records, especially in Washington, D.C., even though we're in a state, we're a city, you can vote. You can vote. So
Maryland, too.
All right.
those who have committed crimes, and a lot of times they've lifted those bans in certain cities that you now can vote. So I do say, please do not let that deter you. Someone said that they have police at certain polls of criminals. Let me tell you something.
That was banned.
Criminals can go and do a whole lot of other stuff in front of the police, you better go and vote.
Well, criminals can be the president. Clearly.
And I've been updated so that HBCU funding. I understand someone informed us that was just for the private institutions, not those that are state schools. So
Thank you, Beth.
So that makes
Thank
sense.
you, Beth Goldstein.
That's why the number was so small.
Someone said some of the polls, at some of the missing votes for early and polls that were missing. I'm talking to someone who has worked the election and have been a poll counter and been an elected official. I know that we count our votes and all the early votes are counted. That happens when machines are off, they're not properly working, and the shade is real.
Well,
so that does
when
happen.
all else fails, I mean, your vote can't be counted if you don't vote. So you need to go ahead and vote.
You got to vote.
Go ahead and vote anyway.
But we're going to be pushing voting all year. Anyway, so let's keep it moving.
Beth also said Maryland felons cannot vote.
Not yet.
I think they're still working on it.
And you know, our very own Akil Patterson is running for city council down there. So we got to have him on the show. He's a gentleman that wrote that co-edited our sports issue. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is, by the way, this thing, I just wanted to say this. I think that if you go to jail and you do your time and you complete it and you come out, I don't understand why you can't vote.
You still got to pay taxes, don't you?
You pay taxes,
all
and
right,
you should
then.
still be able to vote.
Well, because let's face it, black and brown people are the large population of ex-offenders, so therefore that keeps them once again another strike.
Well, you know that's what they did. They turned those plantations into jails anyway.
And the slave catchers.
That Angola, that place is just scary.
That was, right.
That's disgusting.
Well, let's go to something more interesting. What's hot, y'all? So,
yes!
There was some things that happened last week, Sunday.
Glory, thank you.
Miss Universe, y'all. Zaza Beanie Tunzi.
You called it.
Did we call it? Did I call it?
Yeah, you
called it. I said she was fabulous.
You were on it. You said she's the one.
I did say she's the one.
With her beautiful natural hair.
And I think we have series of issues.
Natural hair.
Look at that thing.
But I tell you
that gown. You know, it was interesting because when I first looked at it, I said, oh, why are her arms so constricted? She looks uncomfortable. But then when it got up close, I was like,
oh, y'all did that.
Crown me.
No, that gown.
And when I tell you
gown is everything.
Clearly my two front runners for the whole night of the pageant.
Woo!
Oh, I didn't see this.
Now, that was the gown.
10,000.
Oh, yes,
that was the preliminary gown.
That was everything.
And it has a shimmer.
I see. The inside is beaded.
It's sequin.
Oh, sequence, right. I'm sorry. I'm not in the
this
business, so I don't know. That was
the national costume.
Go back one. Because what's interesting, all the analysts were saying, oh my God, I hope she doesn't change gowns. And she changed gown to that other gown.
She said, "Guess what? I got something for you."
That gown shut it down.
But when she said the sky.
We can keep moving.
When she said the blue represents the water of my people, and I was like,
so that was her national costume.
Tanisha Iman predicted she was going to win too before the pageant started.
So this is what she said. She said, "I grew up in a world where women who look like me, with my kind of skin and my kind of hair, were never considered to be beautiful, and I think that it is time that it stops today."
Bam!
But what Slade was, after they came from her final statement, they did the last two final statements, and I forgot the two young ladies,
Mexico and Puerto Rico.
No. It was after it was the last three. I think it was Mexico, Puerto Rico, and South Africa all did their final statements. They came back to the two correspondents on the side, and she had turned to her and she said, "Well, what do you think?" And she said, "Well, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm rooting for Miss South Africa."
Oh,
I said, "Get it."
Olivia DeCopo, she was a former Miss Universe from America.
She did say that.
She did say that.
Anyway,
well, it was interesting. All three finalists were places that Trump criticized. Did y'all pick up on that?
How you doing?
They were all three places that Trump
he didn't criticize South Africa, did he?
Well, he said all of Africa was shithole nation, so we just lumped it all together.
Yeah.
But we got one more slide, don't we? We got one more image of that. So guess what, y'all? Guess what? All the major titles are what? Black women.
Well, you know, I'm going to just
Miss USA, Miss
Teen, Miss America, but they're missing one.
Yes.
Miss
Giselle.
Giselle.
I forgot.
Giselle. No. They're missing Miss What the Fuck.
Yeah.
How long has she held that title for?
Oh, she's held it forever. She waiting for her spot up on that.
That's because she's corrupt.
Right. I do want to say.
She cheats.
I do want to say, since we did talk about Giselle, Shout out to the Huffington Post because they dropped the article today.
Oh, okay.
Talking about Giselle was the other black beauty.
Really?
And nobody's talking.
Oh, we'll talk that up again.
They need to really.
Shout out. I forgot the writer's name, but I want to give you a kudos because I shared it on my Facebook page. But I want to give a shout out to the Huffington Post for that, for making sure that they highlighted Giselle Barbie Royale.
Happy birthday, Tina Tuna Adams. I
was impressed and inspired by that. I was like, wow.
I stood in the middle. I literally stood in the middle of my living room and just yelled. And I know my
they need
like,
to.
really?
They need to.
So I hope she comes to
Giselle.
DC.
Who, Giselle?
No, Miss Universe.
Oh, she's gonna make a tour. She's gonna make a.
She's gonna be here because her and
she'll probably tour your museum.
I would imagine. I just hope I'm there.
She'll come. I'm sure she will.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Let us know when she comes so we can all meet her.
I'm just super excited. I just want to say, all I kept saying is, Miss Universe run the crowd with a fade and a side part, baby, and a sponge twirl.
And I hope they don't put extensions on her. And you know what's interesting is that South Africa, they won a year. Well, last year Miss South Africa was first runner-up, and then the year before that
she won.
So they've been dominant over the last 3 years.
Well, and they should.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The wonderful Ephraim Capers Dupree has joined us.
Yeah. Shout out to Miss USA. She was great. I thought she was really great.
Was she great?
Gorgeous. Yeah, I thought
I didn't see her.
Her body's banging. She was great. You know,
swimsuit.
But this girl was
I didn't tune into.
Swimsuit.
I didn't tune into the very end. I will be.
I just want to let y'all know that when
Tony said they all live in New York. Yeah, they all live in New York. They're roommates now.
They're all roommates.
I just want to say that when Miss USA came out,
Miss
and her six pack came across.
Her body was just like amazing. Yeah.
She
was everything.
But anyway,
I'll say this. I think Miss USA's gown was cute.
But everybody had those gold sequins on. I was like,
her
when you saw them, did you go check?
How did Miss Venezuela do?
She was in the top.
Oh, she's going to be in the top song.
Was she in the top 20? I can't remember. I think she was in the top 20.
Yeah, what about Miss Puerto Rico?
Well, Miss Puerto Rico was first.
She was one of my top. Her and South Africa.
That costume was over.
Marie was Miss Philippines. Miss Philippines she didn't make the top 10.
That costume was over.
They were over. Because, it's now all about you got to be able to talk. So, when they announced the first 20, they didn't go into this thing where you got to give this verbal presentation.
Yes, basically.
And then they cut it to 10. So
they took it to drag pageants.
The important thing is now you got to be able to speak.
And you should.
They said
you're representing.
You're going to present yourself to the judges.
Universe.
Right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my most distinguished panel.
Every time she talked, she killed it. Right.
And you should
for your consideration and your approval.
Not consideration.
Oh no, that's the speech. Am I not lying?
Yes.
And Tony doesn't do those things when he competes.
She doesn't. Everyone just drops.
He doesn't have to.
Exactly.
When Tony walks to the stage, that was the night the lights went out in Georgia.
When I compete, I cut people's gowns backstage. I put Crisco on the bottom of their shoes.
And we're going to do a documentary on that, Tony. It's going to make you an international superstar.
I'm so here for it.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving, yo. All right. So, of course, our very own Avery Sunshine is doing a live recording.
I love
That's live.
Avery.
December 28th. I want to be down for that. I'm
in Atlanta.
In Atlanta. That's going to be amazing.
Whoever shot this image, amen.
Oh, she's gorgeous anyway.
She is so pretty.
That face is sitting.
So, y'all, Lizzo has been named Time Magazine's Entertainer of the Year.
So happy. This is such a beautiful image.
So,
beautiful.
So some of us are more crazy about her than others.
Yes.
Who cares? I'm here for it.
Yes.
Was that one way to put it?
That was a great way to put it.
I mean, I respect her.
I ain't mad at her.
I'm mad
at her. Live. She has done everything to keep herself in the moment. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. In the moment.
But
either hate her or love her.
But you know what? I think the shade, though. The shade is about Lizzo. Is the white folk went in for her way before the black folk went in.
That's usually what
the white folk has been living for her. And then when you sit down and listen to the lyrics and her song, I'm like, oh, you is real black. She is like
well,
black.
I did see the current video for the song she does with the Southern Jaguar Band. which was amazing for her current song.
Yeah.
She did.
She black.
She black.
And she ain't watering it down. And the white folks are eating it up. And then we found out about her later.
I mean, it's her moment, and she better.
I'm happy for.
She better seize it.
But
that's all I have to say.
You know, is she a beautiful singer though? I don't know what her voice is.
Wendy Williams said it best.
But I think she's
Wendy Williams said it best. It's a different time. She wasn't really talking about Lizzo per se, but she said it's a different time. And she said when you have artists like, they're naming artists like Taylor Swift, she said, who I love that song.
Artists of the decade.
And artists of the decade. When you had people like Prince before and Michael Jackson. She even said, Whitney Houston, she said, it's a different time. And she said, and it's a different standard.
It is a different standard.
And there's no offense to Lizzo or Lizzo fans, it doesn't knock me out. No, I don't get it.
It's about moments. It's not about the longevity of a career anymore. Unfortunately,
it's not about
I like the longevity of the career of an artist. I feel like in order for you to obtain certain titles, you have to work to get there. But this is the world we live in, and everything is so instant. And I say to everybody, to Lizzo, to Nas X, seize the moment and capitalize it. Bank your money, do what you need to do, and I pray that you have the longevity of the Patti LaBelle's, the Tina Turners.
Well, think about it. Their
Shares
careers will probably be different. They won't be musical artists. They don't have that kind of musical talent, so they'll do film, they'll act, they'll do other things.
I do want to say, with that said, real quick, I'm sorry, Yarday. With that said, I ain't hating on it. Get your coins. I ain't mad at them.
It's interesting because literally this past week,
hey, Daryl,
I was just having this conversation about. I am such a lover of music and musicality and instruments and melodies and
harmony,
storylines and things that when you sing, I feel, because it takes me to a moment. That ain't happening no more.
No, I thought you was about to say Lizzo is doing. I was about to read you down.
No. And I'm saying
I haven't heard those songs.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's not happening because literally
it's all marketing. It's a marketing phenomenon.
After the VH1 Urban Honors, literally that night I went to work, and the next night and literally went on to YouTube and put in one old classic Anita Baker song.
Of course.
And when I tell you that YouTube started taking me down this whole lane, and I was like, oh my God, where y'all pull that from? And literally, I was sitting there saying to myself, listen to the music. Instrumentation.
Yeah, it's called composition.
The melody,
harmony.
It's not really there. But again, it's a different time.
It is.
And like I said, I'm not hating on her. I did, and I want to say this real quick. I did think that the stunt at the basketball game was inappropriate.
What did she do?
She came in with a cutout dress and had the thong on. I don't care if she's big, small, whatever. That's a place where people are taking their kids and all that stuff. I just thought it was inappropriate. Howsoever, and I was reading her down. I was with Tammy PA and them. I was on Tammy's page.
Tammy PA was reading her?
Hey, Tammy.
Down. And I was on Tammy's page like, yes, Miss Tammy, you were right. But then today, I had a sort of a change of thought because today they played President Trump on there calling people assholes and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, but nobody's talking about how inappropriate this man is. You are the president of the United States, and you're
the height of inappropriate.
You're on TV, and I'm cursing too, but I'm not the president of the United States.
You're not the president.
And people are trying to compare this woman. Lizzo was saying, if Rihanna had done it. If Rihanna had done it, she should have been red too. But she's not doing that at a basketball game. She did it at a concert. That's something different.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
And I get that. I agree. However, some of the people that we love the most because they said F it and just went and did it. And so, though I agree with you, I don't think it was the most appropriate spot. But I will tell you that I got my entire life.
She should have been arrested.
Because she stepped over it. She was like, okay, guess what?
She should have been arrested.
It's called a publicity stunt to get people talking about
as
you.
Racine
and that's what
said,
we're doing.
It's about moments. And she created a moment. And they've been talking about it for 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
So she's made a moment.
Good for her. But
it's a moment. Good or bad, it's a moment.
She's going to clean up at the Grammys. And I forgot the Golden Globe nominations.
The shade. Let's talk about that.
12. I don't have the list, but there were 4 in particular. So Beyonce got nominated for The Lion King. for the
the song.
Eddie Murphy for Best Actor, I think,
And
for Dolomite.
Oh, and I know Cynthia Erivo
Excellent.
got for Harriet.
Which I'm kind of like.
She got Best Actress nominated.
nominated.
For Harriet.
I haven't
know
seen it yet.
which some people were telling me they didn't like the script. But anyway, and then
I haven't seen it.
There's the diva himself, Billy Porter.
But I think she's a
nominated
talented
again
artist.
Yes.
for another year.
She could
This
sing
is
her
his
tail
year.
off.
His second year. He didn't win last year, right?
that's what they said.
He was nominated. But you know what's interesting? I got a chance to meet him and spend some time with him last week. We got a picture about aisle where we showed him around
that
the
must be
museum.
I saw that
His
picture.
sister is to the far
That's
right.
to the left. She looks just like him.
Right. Well, to our left, but to people's right.
Right.
When I tell you, man, he was
His
such
sister
a
with the
gem.
glasses.
With the glasses.
He was
I mean,
such
look
a
at that
gem.
smile.
But
Did you tell him how
he
much
got
your
it.
editor at large loves him?
Oh yes, and we talked. You know, he
What?
said he's familiar with Swerve.
Okay.
Well, hey, wait,
And now
did you talk about
we're gonna do a
the
major
cover?
cover story on him.
Are we?
Yes, we
Finally?
are.
We should,
We're gonna do a major
finally.
cover.
Finally.
Yes.
Very
Well, look at
good.
God.
And I told him I want to do it for May, June. He said I'm here for it. He
Did
said
you-
he was here for it.
Did
I
you
said,
tell
okay.
him that your editor at large has been a fan of his forever?
You're gonna meet him.
You're going to meet
I
him.
met him. I
And
met
you're
him.
going to
He was-
style him.
I met him outside of when he was executive producer for Shuffle Along.
Oh.
that ran on Broadway. I went
Which
to
I
go see it,
missed,
and I
right.
met him outside.
That was a wonderful
So
production.
yeah, and I got
but
my
he
picture with him
was
too.
Great. He was.
But let's talk
he
about
got
the
it.
shutouts at the Golden Globe.
Oh yeah. Well, they said
When They See Us.
didn't get anything.
That's ridiculous. That's
Lupita didn't get anything for us. I thought she did a great job. even
When
though the
They
film
See
was
Us
bizarre.
is
would've
one of the
thought
most
I would've
powerful
thought
films I've
I would have
seen.
thought Lupita performance, and nobody yell at me, but I thought she would have gotten a nod before
Cynthia.
Erivo.
I didn't like the
think she
script,
was
the
great
production.
in
But
that
the script, the production, it was just
She didn't
like
even
that.
have the cadence of the accent.
Tony, what was the expression you said that she did the whole time?
But I'm just saying. But then, but I'm so glad that the young man from When They See Us, he just
It
got.
was like when you said it, I was
wrong,
like,
y'all day?
that was it. The guy, yeah, he won. What did he win? He won an Emmy, right?
He won an Emmy, but
Oh,
he's
yes.
also been nominated for the Drama Desk Award.
I thought Lupita would have.
So that's nominated by your peers.
In us. You know, that was the most bizarre movie.
Okay, I know we were doing about the African make. Did Renee Zellweger?
Oh, someone said it also will not be televised this
Beauty.
year. The Golden Globes.
I don't know who all's nominated.
She should have been.
Ooh, the shade.
Wait, you said
Somebody said it will. Ephraim said it will not be televised
What do
this
you
year.
mean?
Is
Will
that
not be
correct?
televised? It'll be on something. What do you mean?
we probably go to find it on YouTube.
They're probably doing it streaming live. You know, everybody's doing them streaming
can we
live
take- can we
things.
take
wait
a
a minute,
pause?
wait a minute. It said, Tony, my brother said when they see us. Right. I thought you were still gonna say
been. I
us.
said it should have been.
I gotta admit, I have not gotten the heart to watch the thing yet.
Well, When They See Us, let me
Yeah.
tell you,
Everything.
I gotta watch it, but I don't have.
it is one of the most
powerful.
powerful. I'm saying it
is.
again. It
It's like
is.
watching
Ain't
12 years.
nothing.
a
It's
Slave.
a
I
ma-
can't-
no,
I can't watch
it's
that
better
once.
than 12
But when I
years.
tell
watch
you,
that once.
before you get to episode 4, go and brace yourself.
Oh.
It's
Episode
power.
4 is
Everybody.
The first 3 is hard to get through, but that 4,
It's powerful.
and before, because I know we get ready to move on
We
to
are
the
getting
other
ready to
stuff,
move,
I do want to say, if anybody has not gone to YouTube, please go to YouTube and watch the tribute to Yolanda Adams.
Miss Faith, Miss
Who sang Kelly Price?
Miss Kelly
Kelly
Price,
Price,
Well, Kelly Price is an awesome.
Jacqueline
Carr, and
Who's that?
Some new- this
a
gr-
new gospel
Baby?
singer that she sounds like.
Hey!
But I'm sorry.
Sounds like who?
Yolanda Adams.
Oh,
Is that
Sounds like
DeAndrea?
her. And DeAndrea.
DeAndrea.
And please.
When was
this
this?
was at the
It was
BT.
Black Music. It was Black Music Honors.
That's what I said last time I was here to watch the whole series. But
I'm just going to say this.
Music Honors.
DeAndrea, what's her name?
DeAndrea Johnson.
Oh, yeah, she's
and the
great.
other woman, they were great. But after Kelly Price, I was like, that y'all can just, it's shut down. Miss Kelly Price sang. I was like, oh my God.
They both showed
shade-
out.
but
She's a
the-
great vocalist.
The
She's a great
shade is
vocalist.
that all of them sing. And when I saw it, at this time I had never heard of Jacqueline Starr. Everybody and a lot of people in gospel know her.
Yeah, she sounds like
When
her.
I was like, I don't know who this new chick is, and I said, I don't know who put this together, but all I know is that y'all got Kelly Price and Leandria Johnson. This baby better be able to hold her own. And when she came out, I was like,
I thought she was.
oh.
I thought she was I mean,
okay.
But, you
I
know, a lot
thought
of
she was
black
a
girls
close
can
second
sing.
to Kelly Price. And when she came out third, I said, okay, she just shut that down. But that Kelly Price sang that
She did.
Kelly Price sang that song better than Yolanda Adams. I was like,
What song?
God.
What did she sing?
She did. She did open my heart.
Oh, really?
And then
It's a beautiful song.
Jacqueline did Through the Storm, and then Leandria came out in the midst of it all, and then they came back and did.
Where was I when all this was it on regular television?
No, you have to go on your YouTube.
And also the tribute to Freddie Jackson was really good with Avery Wilson.
Oh, it was fabulous.
Avery Wilson, Tony Terry, and
Terry?
and Tevin Campbell.
Oh, it was over.
Baby,
I didn't
and that
know.
Avery Wilson, if y'all don't know who
that
he
whole
is,
show is cute.
follow him on YouTube.
I don't know who Avery Wilson is.
Baby,
Oh, he's
sings
amazing.
his
Oh, he's
face
amazing.
Okay.
It's good. It's
and
good.
he's a vocal stylist. I
And
love
speaking
his
of
voice.
singing faces off, Miss Dionne Warwick sang her face off and
Oh.
forgot the lyrics.
Did you,
Oh,
did
for
you
the
see her
Christmas
today on the
song? I missed
on
that.
Tamara
I
Hall?
heard about it.
Well,
She
I
was on
missed
Good
it.
Morning America.
Good
And
Morning.
the day is her birthday. She got overwhelmed.
Good Morning America is so black they should call it Good Morning Black
And
America.
she was.
And
Can I tell you, I love
She was on-
the
she was
Tamara
on-
Hall
she
show,
was on-
how
I was
bright
gonna
and
say-
beautiful
I do
it
too.
is.
She was on the Tamara Hall show.
I've only seen a couple episodes. I keep taping it, but I can't.
it's
forget to
really
watch
well
it.
done.
It's good?
It
It's
is very well
done.
done.
But the thing was about Miss Dionne Warwick was the shade was Miss Layla Hathaway is the one who posted her messing up the song, her father's song. I said, "Oh, Miss Layla, that was real shade."
What song was she singing?
This Christmas.
and look, the thing was you could see in her eyes that she was giving. Oh God, I don't know this next line. She was like,
But you know what? It's funny.
Was she ooh and ah?
It was funny. I
"No, she
promise
just made
y'all.
up some words."
I promise y'all. Today I was watching.
Well, she's a living legend.
I
She
was,
can do
How does
it.
she
I was
sound?
watching her on Tamara Hall,
And it's
and
her
as she
birthday.
sang,
Because she smoked
And
so
it's
much.
birthday.
as she sang, she had the look on her face, and I turned to a friend of mine. I said, "Look at her. That's your good aunt at the family function, who you know she was in the back." She was like, "I'm doing this because they called me and told me this. I'm gonna get this check."
And I get it. I need
And
to
you
get
know
a
she
check.
smoked a Newport.
And I love her.
And
with that-
sipped on some
she
brown
smoked-
liquor before she went out there to do
She
that
smoked
song.
weed, too.
And
Smoked
sung
down.
and sung it like she.
I don't care what you say
She sat
about
there,
Dionne Warwick.
That face was stoned.
Nothing
like,
is more priceless when Sissy Houston
like
was
it,
singing
don't you?
background for Aretha
You
Franklin.
like it, don't you?
Nothing is more priceless
and I
than
said-
that moment.
Nathaniel
And that's-
said, "I am screaming."
And that's exactly what I said. I said, baby, that attitude is her, Aretha Franklin,
Yes.
Sissy Houston, all of them got that good.
I don't
I'm the
care.
mother of the church.
The
and
one that
I
takes the
care.
cake.
Oh,
I have
Aretha
no
didn't
fucks
It's
to
when
give.
poor Sissy
Aretha
was
didn't
no
care.
fucks to give.
Aretha didn't care. She's like, "Y'all gonna I'm gonna sing it. Y'all gonna love it,
And you're gonna love it.
But we have,
if you don't, I don't
to
care.
acknowledge Ephraim.
I got paid,
Ephraim is
right?
correct. These are two different shows that me and Yarde are talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, okay.
They're two different shows. She was on when she's.
Oh, right.
She
I was
on
talking on the
Tamron.
Tamron Hall.
And then she
Right.
wrote Good Morning America.
She was
No,
on
y'all not talking about Dionne Warwick. Y'all talking about the Yolanda
No, we're
Trip.
talking about Dionne
was on
Warwick.
Good Morning
Well, yeah,
America.
She was on
Yeah.
Good Morning America, and she screwed up this Christmas really badly.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
And she was singing it with someone else, right?
Yeah, to the other child sang.
But
it,
there
so
were
I-
two tributes. No, he's talking about the two Yolanda tributes. There was one on the BET to her and one on
BET
Black
Soul
Aunts.
Awards, which Yolanda did her own tribute. She
Oh,
sang.
okay.
And then it was the Black
Oh, I
Music.
see.
BET,
Black,
the Soul Train Award.
Soul Train Music Awards was one.
They got so many awards.
She got. She got.
I see.
she
Thank
got
you,
like-
Ephraim.
She got the Lady of Soul Award at the Soul Train Music Awards. Black Music Honors did a tribute to her.
I didn't know she was in her 60s.
Baby. That thing look good.
She looks
Yolanda.
fabulous.
But
Yolanda's beautiful.
y'all want to skip the music thing? We can go right.
And shout out
into
to
this.
Roy
Well,
Cox.
you didn't talk about the next one.
Who's here in
Tony's
Baltimore,
events.
who does
Oh
all
yeah,
her
do y'all
promo.
have any events, Tony?
Tony
you
has
got
some. I do too.
I do. I will be. I'm getting an award on the 20th.
another one? Come on.
Yes,
And you've earned it.
Get your life.
Cash honorarium.
I hope so.
Get you
God
some.
knows I do.
Tell us about your award.
Yes, tell us what's
It's
the
going to
award.
be at this 8th annual Red themed toy drive.
Oh,
And-
Walter Lundy?
Yes, Walter
Oh,
Lundy.
fierce.
called
When is
me
that?
and,
That's coming up, right?
On the 20th of this month. I was
Oh,
shocked.
well, maybe I need to
You've
go to
earned
that.
it.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
You've earned
And
it.
of course,
Ask Walter to spell your name right on the check, please.
Spend my name on a check, right on a check. And of course, I'll be back at Ziegfeld's next week. We have a big announcement coming up soon.
A big announcement?
Yes, but the big Ziegfeld's
Is
announcement.
Daryl going to buy the building?
He should if he's smart, but we'll see.
Because I hear they're not moving that building now because they were going to tear it down before. It was going to be moved out, and I hear it's not anymore.
I don't know.
He can't confirm or deny anything because he's
I
not
don't
the
know.
promoter.
I don't know.
So he just
But,
he don't know nothing.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. We are working on some things, and also. The lipstick review returns. Thank you all for coming to my birthday party.
Yes,
It was
I had a
special.
blast.
It was nice. It was fun.
But we decided to. We had a huge toiletry drive for Casa Ruby, and we've decided to extend it throughout the holiday season.
Oh, that's so
part
cool.
two
Good deal.
of
So
the
cool.
toiletry drive. Charmaine, I saw her, it's on right now.
Hey, Charmaine.
And Charmaine, and we'll come by. We're actually going to invite Miss Charmaine to put on a little drag garment and get on the stage and do us a little.
Come on, Charmaine.
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
I'm here for it.
All right, Racine, what do you have?
I do believe
Thank
you have
you,
the
Efren.
first clip from the Tell Racine.
Well, I think I just have the slide. I just have the slide to tell you about it. We showed it last
Yeah,
week.
but you can show it again. I've earned
Well, I
that
don't
right.
think I have that.
But this is fine. We're telling everyone to watch my one-on-one interviews, our new episodes which premiered. Go to YouTube or Vimeo at Team Racine for Tell Racine. Also, I sent you a clip of what I'm doing. I'm inviting everyone to come pamper yourself at VSL. I'm a nail tech. I'd like you to come and see me. VSL is located in DuPont Circle. I am a wonderful nail tech with over 30 years experience. I'd like to have you in my chair. I call it fellowship. Come and have your hands and feet done. And please pamper yourself. You're worth it. Don't go to places that rush you and treat you like cattle. Come somewhere
And
for your
support
fellowship.
black business.
Thank you.
owners. There you
At
go.
VSL, follow me at Instagram, nails_by_Raymond. So please come and see me. Follow me, VSL. You
got
can
a
go to my
lot of
Facebook.
tags.
Yes, you can go to my Facebook. You can go to Twitter, and you can go to Instagram. I post all of that information, how to locate me, or you can inbox me and make a personal appointment.
There you go. You make house calls, right? You make house calls.
I don't do house calls. That's extra.
Look, yo. Okay, so since we're close on time, let's go right to the topic. I'm going to skip the video if you
What's
don't
the
mind.
topic?
So it's just like I've been hearing this topic all week. Are
black
black people
people
homophobic?
homophobic?
You know, a lot of the pundits have been insinuating this whole thing with Pete Buttigieg that black people are not engaged with him because we are homophobic.
And you know, what's his name? It was on.
I don't think that's the statement. I think that he's boring to a lot of people.
Well, he has
No, well, he's got
problems with the black people that he's been running in South Bend.
What's the gentleman's name? I can't remember.
You
his
got to
name, but he
reach
was
out
on
to
The
us.
View
It has nothing to
last-
do with your sexuality.
He was on The View last week, and he was addressing, and he's actually said that he feels like Pete Buttigieg can get beyond this whole black thing. And he really appreciated the fact that Pete Buttigieg is not joining in on that whole thing about it's black people being homophobic.
Yeah.
It's people around him. And no, I mean, well, of course, there are some black people that believe in how they interpret what they read in the Bible or whatever. I mean, but that goes with. I don't think that's exclusive to black
to the
people.
black community.
That's
But
people.
do the black church? Because I haven't been. I don't go to church. So I mean, I know enough ministers, gay and otherwise, and I didn't know that we still the preachers.
But
are
I
still
just-
jumping on the gays.
I'ma say
they're still beating up on the gays in black churches.
I mean, well, they've been doing that for centuries,
serious?
and that's why you
get
need
in
to
there
go
and
to a
they still
church that
talking about
affirms you.
sissies and all that stuff, but they still.
Oh, come on,
Are
you know that
serious?
they still
I don't
reading.
know that.
Well, let me just say this: people who have been
In
oppressed.
2019.
Yes, I do believe this. People who have been oppressed, such as people of color.
But do
When
the whole
you've been
choir
oppressed
stand
for
up
so long, you want to find a way that you can step and stand on somebody else. And you can put somebody else below you or beneath you or however you look at to be in a place of power. So a lot of times
the question,
people
who holds
do
them
that.
Accountable though. Who?
But we should hold them
Well,
accountable.
we though. I mean, like
People
who-
of color, all people should. You should hold your brother and sister accountable.
No, so if the ministers, prominent ministers in this town, around the country,
Thank
are
you.
getting up talking about all this anti-gay, homophobic stuff, why is the congregation sitting there accommodating them, and why aren't black elected officials holding them accountable?
Well, that's
Because
not-
maybe you don't get your tax,
we got
your
our-
tax deduction.
First, I'm going to say it is like the battered women syndrome. You've gone through it. You're accustomed to it. You come back to it, and you know what? I am at a point now where I ain't got time. I got a whole life I want to spend my energy on. It's funny. I had this conversation this week. I'm still, even in my therapy sessions, we had to go over some of the issues and the challenges of the lies that I swallowed from the church, and still I'm still. Sometimes still irritated by it.
Oh, let him go, baby.
That's
Life's too short.
Oh, you
At
don't have
this
your
point-
glasses.
Who gonna hold him accountable? I don't care. It's gonna be somebody other than me.
I'm gonna say.
I don't have
Well,
time.
I do remember when.
But if you come for me, I'm coming
we're
back for
in
you.
D.C. I remember when that minister, what was his name, Owens, when he did the whole thing with the
Oh,
sissies
Bishop
and all
Owens?
that.
over at Great Mount Calvary.
Anthony Williams held him accountable for that statement. They pushed him off of that ministers' conference thing. You know, you had to do something. You couldn't accommodate them.
But the moment you take people in those places and it's all about dollars.
But here it is.
Cents.
But
dollars and cents change.
We can't like the guy, like the gentleman said on The View. Why can't I remember his name? But y'all have to go see it. He made the point. He said we have got to get out of this thing of the oppression derby. Who's being oppressed?
I call it oppression Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics. He said you cannot expect gay people to have because they are soaked in the thing in the discrimination that they felt against them, and you can't expect them to fully understand your plight.
Of course you can.
Or black people.
No one knows what it's like to be black except
black people or black non-gay people to fully understand the gay plight. It's all oppression, and it just is what it is. I don't think black people. I can't really speak for if black people are more homophobic than because my experience is not so much with white people. I didn't grow up under white people,
so we don't know that.
We don't know that, but I do know that there are some homophobic African American people out there because I have
a lot of them
because I have experienced them. But I will say
Especially the undercover ones.
I will say
Those are your favorites.
I will say a lot of it is what I will accept and will not accept. Just like a perfect example, I walked in, I'm not going to say where I work because a lot of people know, I walked in one of our satellite offices where people didn't know me. Most people know me throughout my office, but one of the satellite offices I walked in. You're a living legend
where you were.
And there was some conversation because I had on pink. I had on pink.
And they didn't know who you was.
Well, and they didn't know I had re-entered the room. And my point, when they turned around and saw that I had re-entered the room, the look of shock on their face was like, "Oh my God, no!" And then the guy was like, "Oh man, and my point was, do you think that took me up? You gonna have to come a little bit harder than that,
and I thank you
up, because you know what?
Get you some of that.
Because you know what? Because you know what? I'm on a trajectory. And you're not fueling that trajectory. I'm going to tell you what fuels that trajectory. Y'all call me a sellout if you want to, but what fuels that trajectory is my 2-week deposit, and it's real cute. So what you talking about over there, you keep it over there. You keep that foolishness over there. And then,
but this is in DC because DC.
This is in DC.
Being gay gets you a promotion.
But exactly. But
being gay gets you a promotion.
But then when the second person in charge of the whole company walks in and does like this,
okay, right?
This is all gay.
This is my assistant.
Exactly.
Make sure he
Y'all
good. They all gagged, and I tell him, I said, "Told you don't take me up. He can take me up, but you don't."
Bam.
And that's my point.
But let me just say this.
That was my point about
black folks.
Hold on 1 second. That was my point about I'm spending too much time on trying to live my best life.
Invested,
right.
Than to worry about am I trying to hold some minister accountable?
Oh, I agree. I agree with that.
Get your total.
I see you. What you got to say, Ray?
I said I believe black people are no more homophobic than white people. I've encountered racism on both sides and hate. But this is, Ed, Ephraim, bless your heart. You said if you want to combat homophobia, then you work with the community to change the hearts and the minds. Bashing each other won't change anything.
But I'm not trying to convince anyone. I mean,
sometimes people gonna hate you. Just because I'm gay, they just looking for something.
They don't.
And you know what? Sometimes me being gay, and once they get over that, they might not like it because I'm 5'11". They might not like me because I'm over 200 pounds. They might not like me. So people folks will find ways to take us down, There's always folks who are insecure that looking to feel like if I can have some power or hate on somebody else, that's your own insecurities. Because you know what, at the end of the day,
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. What's the prediction? I'm predicting that Pete Buttigieg is going to be in one of them offices. He's not going to be.
Well, he'll get an appointment.
He's going to be in. I think he's going to be the vice president.
You think so? Did y'all hear about Stacey Adams? Stacey Adams is supposed to be possibly somebody's
of course
VP.
She is. Of course she's a VP candidate.
She should be.
Yeah, I
think she should.
It depends on who's.
Pete Buttigieg is going to be in somebody's office
I wouldn't be
He'd be
surprised.
any candidate. I mean,
wouldn't be surprised.
all those folks.
I mean, everybody's lining themselves up for
They'll
something.
get cabinet positions. Anyway, well, y'all. So yeah, I don't think our people are more or less more homophobic than anybody else. It just comes out in different ways.
But our experience with homophobia comes more from our people because these are the people
we live amongst
that
our
we
people.
live amongst.
Right? Yeah,
That's a different thing.
That's the thing, right? Our blackness really takes precedence over our
That's
sexual
like
identity.
That's
what I
like
always
saying
say. I'm black first.
people's experience with racism probably comes more from white people versus Latin people. We've lived it. That's the people who
Right.
Speaking of, have y'all seen? Have you seen Chelsea Handler's documentary on Netflix?
I did see it.
About
that incident when she was dating that guy and they charged him, but they didn't. They let her go several times.
And that's what initiated. But she talks about in that documentary they talk about white privilege, and she had actually made a statement. She said, "Why do when they do these things? They always ask black people about white privilege. They have nothing to do with it." I said,
Ask the white people.
Ask the white people, and she did.
Oh yeah, that was
if y'all have not seen that documentary, please,
oh my God,
go get your life.
Yeah. But I'll just say
get you some.
We can counter all that through education.
I don't think
love,
Kamala is going to get anything.
And
Kamala
just
dropped out.
determination.
No, he was saying that he thinks that the vice president thinks will go to Kamala.
No, she's going.
I think she would probably.
She's going to sit in her Senate seat.
Or she'll stay in her Senate seat, or they'll make her attorney general.
And
she will not be vice president.
And she backed out.
She might, right? They could make her attorney general.
Her and Maxine Waters are now working on this $13 million project to help homelessness across the country.
They need to start
$1 billion, I think
they
it's
got a
$13 billion.
major homeless
Yeah.
problem.
Oh,
anyway,
gosh.
I think
So I think that's what she's taking on her campaign
We're out
money.
of time.
We're
so
out
we
of
want to
time.
thank y'all.
Thank you, everybody.
See you
Like
next
and share.
week.
Get your Swerve issue.
Get your Swerve on. Deuces.
Listen, vision. DC's #1 recording studio. Oh.